So if you're a new Amazon seller and you're thinking about selling on Amazon, in this video, we're gonna go over the pros and cons and specifically the differences between FBA and FBM and which one you should probably consider selling with on Amazon. And if you're launching a new product like this, specifically how you can sell this through FBA or FBM. And even if you do choose FBA, specifically the time of the year and the period when you may want to also consider FBM, we're going to talk about all that. Let's get right into it. So first, FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, meaning that Amazon is going to get your product. When you sell this product and you figure out you want to sell this product and your manufacturer sends this product to Amazon, they're going to get the items. Once again, they're going to fulfill it by shipping it, picking it, packing it, and sending it to your end customer. They're going to fulfill it by Amazon. FBM stands for Fulfilled by Merchant, or Fulfilled by Me, or Fulfilled by You, where you want to sell this product. And if you select the FBM instead of the FBA, you're going to be, once you get any sales, you're going to have to get this product, take it to the post office, take it to UPS, take it to USPS, whatever one you use, take it to FedEx if you use FedEx, and you're going to send this product out to your end customer, and they're going to receive it, and you're going to pay the shipping costs. And so why would you ever use FBM? Why would you ever use FBA? Let's talk about it. Well, the pros of using FBA is that you never actually have to store the items and you don't have to actually ship the items. Amazon will store and ship the items for you whenever you get sales. Now, let's say we sell this big, promo, for example. Imagine selling 1,000 of these units every single month. Imagine storing 1,000 of these units every single month. You can easily see how over time and very quickly these can add up, as opposed to selling maybe something like this a little quicker. The 1,000 units of this item is still not going to be as big as 1,000 units of selling this. And so Amazon will store and they will ship the items for you, as well as you will also get prime shipping. That is another thing that really encourages customers on Amazon to buy products. Amazon FBA, you are eligible for prime shipping, which once again gets the items to the customer very, very fast, very, very efficiently, and they're going to be a lot more likely to buy from you. With FBM, you don't have that. We'll talk about that in a second. But the last pro of FBA is that not only having a slight SEO advantage, meaning that you're ranking a little better in Amazon, but you also get to focus on scaling instead of selling. You don't have to store and sell and ship and pack and all that. You get to focus on scaling, how you can increase your sales, how you can increase your margins, how you can do better PPC management, how you can do better external ads, how you can use social media to potentially get more sales. You can focus on scaling. And you don't have to focus on shipping and packing and sending out. It's just very, very easy to focus on, once again, the most profitable part of your business, which once again is scaling your business. Now, with there being pros, there are also cons. And the very first cons are for FBA is that you have more fees. You have the fulfillment fee, you got the storage fee, you got the referral fee, you got the inventory fees, the long-term storage fees. I think I may have said that already, but regardless, you have more fees than FBA business model has. Now, with those fees, there are fees that you have to pay for FBM and FBA still, such as the referral fee, which basically allows you to sell on Amazon's platform. That's going to be a 15% fee for your specific product. Yeah, you still pay that with FBA and FBM, but where FBA gets more expensive is the long-term storage fees, the inventory fees, and the fulfillment fees, meaning that Amazon's fulfilling your order, fulfilled by Amazon, you're paying more fees on top of this. However, with FBM, once again, you still have to find shipping, so those fees can quickly add up. And honestly, it can even be more. I'm gonna talk about that in a quick second. FBM could even be more potentially from fees. So you think you save money, but essentially you could be paying more in fees than FBA. And the last con of FBA, which could be arguably a pro or a con, is that it's basically completely hands off. You're not touching your inventory. You're not dealing with, fulfilling the inventory, shipping it out. There's no connection to your actual units, That could be a plus for some people, or it could be a negative for those who want to be very hands-on in their business. They want to see how the units are arriving, if they're in good conditioning, if they're in good condition for the customers to actually receive. If they have these units that, once again, are good, that's a peace of mind for some people. For other people, they don't really care. It really depends. And so that could be a pro or a con depending on which boat you actually fall into. So for FBA, you don't have to store, you don't have to ship out. You can focus on scaling your actual units, but you pay more fees. Or do you really? For FBM, what are the pros of FBM? The pros of FBM are, once again, you pay less fees, which once again are going to the fulfillment fee. You're not paying the fulfillment fee because Amazon's not fulfilling it, you're fulfilling it. So you have to go to the store, UPS, USPS, and find shipping rates. Now, in most cases, you will not be able to compete with Amazon. Their shipping rates are going to be with UPS worldwide, and so they're going to get extremely low shipping rates than what you're going to be able to potentially find in a regular UPS store or a regular store in general. Their rates they have a carrier partnership with UPS, so their rates are going to be extremely low, and so it's going to be very hard to find rates that are that low. Now, unless you are a big company who excels in shipping rates and excels in logistics and getting from point A to point B, you're most likely not going to be able to compete with Amazon. So this pro of saving money in terms of fees is really actually a con at the end of the day, because you are going to have to find these rates for cheap, which is going to be very hard to do. The next quick con is you have slightly less SEO. Now, this is just arguably, and this is what most people believe, but I believe it too, is that when Amazon's filling your orders, they have more SEO perks. You have more SEO perks with Amazon FBA than you do with FBM, because once again, Amazon wants you to be FBA. But on top of that, the third con is that you do not have the ability to scale as quickly and as drastically as you would with FBA. Because once again, you're selling and you're scaling and you're sending and you're shipping all the units that you sell on Amazon. So you get 20 sales a day, you have to get the 20 items, send them out, every single day. And so you can easily see how over time that's going to very, very easily add up to fatigue, to burnout, and ultimately allow you to scale a lot slower. And the last con of FBM is that you are responsible for when anyone returns the item, you are responsible for customer service and dealing with returns and refunds, which kind of sucks. Usually Amazon does all that for FBA. For FBA, Amazon does do all that. They deal with customer service. The only thing that you have to worry about for FBA is that you have to deal with buyer messages. So occasionally, every couple times a week, you'll get a buyer message when they're asking a question or something. Well, depending on your product, you may not get them at all, but you may get a buyer message here and there, and that's very simple. You just reply over Amazon Seller Central, and it's very simple. But for FBM, you're dealing with customer service, you're dealing with returns, you're dealing with refunds, and so it can easily become a headache if you get a lot of returns. Now, 99% of the time, you will be using FBA because once again, you can scale easier, you get more selling perks, more SEO, you don't have to deal with customer service, you don't have to deal with shipping, logistics, all of that. You pay more fees, but you really don't pay more fees at the end of the day once you do the math and once you actually deal with doing FBM for a long period of time. Now, with that, when would you ever actually use FBM? There are specific cases when you would use FBM. Let's say, for example, you have air fryers or some huge, ginormous item like this, and your units are not selling fast. And in that case, if your unit's not selling fast and you have a big cubic, foot space of item, but that didn't make sense. If your item has a big surface area, then in that case, and it's moving very slowly, the bigger and the larger dimensions your items are, the more you will get in storage fees. And if your item's moving slow, the more long-term storage fees, which get very, very expensive. So in that case, if you have a slow-moving big item that's very heavy and very slow and very large, then in that case, FBA, once again, you're not moving items fast, it's going to end up racking up lots and lots of long-term storage fees. So in that case, it would be better to just do FBM for that item. But for most items that are selling decent pace or even slow pace that are very light and small, the storage fees are not really going to add up, and ultimately you're going to be better off doing FBA because once again, the shipping is going to add up for FBM anyways compared to FBA. Now, the second place when you would use FBM, even if you already do use FBA, is when Q4 happens and your units are selling very, very, very fast. So yes, you can use FBA to sell this item, and you can also use FBM. Here's an example. Last year we had stock limits for our Amazon products, meaning that you can only send in, I believe it was in some cases it was as low as 2,000, in some cases it moved back up to 8,000, but ultimately there were a lot less units that you were able to ship into Amazon. Now with that being said, that means that you would have, let's say you have 5,000 units in Amazon, but you sell 5,000 units a month. And so you have a month's worth of stock, but you're getting, lots and lots of sales that are increasing during Q4. And let's say you end up selling 10,000 units a month, then that means that you have basically half a month's worth of stock, 2 weeks worth of stock, and so you're going to stock out. And that is when FBM was very, very handy, because once again, you could also do FBM where you're actually sending in units as well during Q4, during a time where you have lots of sales, your stock limits were lower. It made sense then. Now this year it may not make the most sense because once again, these stock limits are not as low as they were last year. I don't see any stock limits. I believe for some of our products, we are able to sell in at least 20, we were able to send in at least 20,000 units. So that's not probably going to be the case this year, but last year it made complete sense. And this year it may not be the case, but once again, you still can sell a product through FBA and FBM if the units start selling faster and if stock limits ever do decrease like it did in the past. And once again, for any item, you can always switch between FBA or FBM, try each of them out in Seller Central. In most cases, FBA is going to be the better choice because of the scalability, the less hands-onness of the business model, allowing you to actually not have to deal with shipping and handling and returns and refunds and having your mind bogged with a lot of negative, lower income producing tasks, as opposed to having your time well spent on higher income producing tasks such as scaling your business to the next level. If you've ever dealt with FBM, let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know how your personal experiences are, especially with shipping rates. And in the meantime, funny enough, somebody gifted me this air fryer, and I already have an air fryer, so I basically posted this on Amazon, and I got a sale, and so I'm gonna go send it to UPS through FBM to the end customer. So FBM can be handy in some cases, but once again, in most cases, you will be using FBA. If you're interested in exactly how you can use FBA to scale your business and how you can develop your very own Amazon FBA business, and make sure you click on this video right here where I go into a detailed breakdown on exactly what to do as a beginner doing product research on Amazon.